But here comes Jesus, and he has the audacity to say, I am the way. Back in 1980, this is a funny story. Rosie Ruiz competed in the Boston Marathon. In fact, she was the first woman to cross the finish line that year. Everyone cheered, but something didn't seem right. She's a person that no one had ever seen before in a race, and yet she finished about 5 minutes ahead of every other woman. And upon closer investigation, they found out that she had run the first mile, that she had taken a taxi cab and gotten to about the half-mile point of the end of the race and calculated when the other women would be coming along, and she ran the last half mile. When she crossed the finish line, an astonished crowd applauded her like crazy, but a perceptive reporter came up to her and says, Madam, you are either the fastest woman on the face of the earth or you are a fraud. And I say to you this morning, Jesus Christ is either the Messiah, God's living Son who conquered the grave, or he's a fraud. That's the only two choices. There is no, he's a good person. Maybe he pulled off the greatest hoax in the history of all of mankind. He fed 5,000 people by somehow fooling the multitudes. He healed hundreds. He even tricked crowds into thinking that he brought someone else back from the grave. Then he allowed people to crucify him. He recovered from that beating that almost half of everyone else didn't even survive before the cross. But let's suppose he never even died. So he's on this cross, and has his spear thrust into his side, and he has his ankles broken, and after being crucified, he's put in this airtight tomb for 2 days without any food, and then somehow miraculously, he gets up in the morning, pushes that stone away, takes on an entire battalion of soldiers, somehow got them to tell a lie about what's happened, and then went and talked to the disciples about being imprisoned and tortured and murdered, and it was all a big lie. Right? Could that even be? Oh, don't forget that throughout his 3.5-year ministry, every single time he alluded to his death, he predicted his resurrection. Not to mention that he fulfilled hundreds of prophecies that were written hundreds of years before he even came to earth. Listen, he is either the Son of God or he's a fraud. There's no middle ground. Listen to his words again, John 14:6. I am the way, I am the truth, I am the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. His choice of wording is amazing.